What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. I didn't want to do this video. I keep telling the meta players to STFU. You don't know what you're talking about at all. You're mathematically incompetent. Okay? You're incompetent. So I get a recommendation from It's Just Me Mel or whatever, Mel, about allies. And I'm like, oh, uh, whatever. Let's see what he's gonna say. And overall, it's like he's missing certain points on certain allies, like with the effects. Um, and I'm like, yes and no, yes and no, and then he gets to Black Adam, and then he completely just rags on it. Well, I would never take the power of Aten and blah blah blah. I'm like, of course. And then I left a comment, but of course he wouldn't take Black Adam because he can't count. It's just inoperative. I'll always use Black Adam over the Flash, and I have the Flash. They're not maxed. I'm still in the process. Like I said, this is just my pretty much just my casual game, but I've had Black Adam since it was released. I'm still working on it. um, but it gives 15% with the power of Aten at this current level, and it will increase when I max them out. But currently, I'm getting 15%. Now, majority of the meta, oh my god, the meta players will use Walk It Off, even on healers, even though the healer should be using Flash Heal. Zazo what? Zazo what? Uh, 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 uh. I swear. But, yeah. But if you take a look, I even got the Flash at a higher level. The Flash will give me an 8% return when I use the supercharge ability. That's the key difference. When I use the ability. But the build-up process from Black Adam gives me 15% on the generator. Now, a lot of times people would think, well, that's not much. It isn't until you have supercharge cooldown reduction and running 2 supercharges. And then Black Adam smokes Walk It Off for the build. What do you mean supercharge reduction? Whoa, whoa. Right here. Backslot. Unstoppable. Reduces the cooldown by 10%. Unstoppable. Supercharged generator. Mel, you suck. Okay? I don't care what content you do. You can't count, dude. You're not meta. You're a wannabe meta. You're a gatekeeper. And I love how everybody's going sorcery now. Something's up with sorcery. We should try it. Because Mystic has beaten the water DPS and the meta DPS with a sorcerer. Oh my god. Guys suck! See, if you guys would just STFU, I wouldn't have to just embarrass you. I wouldn't have to. But I'm going to. Because I'm the GOAT. And I'm here to put it in your face. Like soon it'll be this economy. Because, I know things that a lot of people just don't. Oh, I might know a thing or two. Anywho, let's go over this. Okay, so I'm just messing around. Now see, that'll be up. Now you're building supercharge. Interestingly enough, right? You're going to be building supercharge. And then when I use... Now, keep in mind, if I had a healer or a tank giving me even more... You see what I'm saying? It's going to even increase the from the Eye of Gemini, a healer and a tank. Yeah, it's going to be full constantly. That's why another reason I don't use Neo Venom. I got it faster with Word of Power. But as you can see, I have my combat screen up, right? So Power of Atom 29, Power of Atom 29. So as this levels up to 10, I'm getting more. Do you know how much the Flash? Do you know how much the Flash gives in Supercharge return? I do. I have it. So let's go over the numbers here, ladies, and scumbags, little dweebs that can't count, mathematically incompetent people. Let's say you go ahead and you drop a 2500 supercharge on a walk it off max, right? That means you're going to get 15% return. At that number for a 2500, you're going to get 375 supercharge back. Well, let's say you're running 5,000. Well, that would double to 750. And let's say you're running 10. Well, that would be 1,500 because once again, it would double up. You kind of get the point here. So 375, 750, 1,500. Because 14 plus 14 is what? So, 700 plus 700 is 14, right? 1550 is 1,500. You get what I'm saying? It's not hard to do the math. The math is not complicated. You have to do it, but it's not complicated. Now, because I'm using a supercharge reduction, right, and I'm running 2 supercharges, I'm able to push out more supercharge, or get more supercharge with the Power of Atom than walk it off. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now this is a little higher for sure. So let's go ahead and equip, walk it off. And as you guys can see in my thing, now I'm not running the thing. This is my tank, so I use the Hardy mod. But I do have the headpiece with the Word of Power. Okay. This isn't my rotation, I'm just messing around. Now see, that's a pretty good, nice little chunk, right? It is. Because it's not even quite half. But the problem of it is what did it take me to get there? Therein lies the problem. So even, most DPS are going to have penetrating strikes, right? And of course, I'm using Scrap of the Soul Cloak, which is a benefit because increase your maximum supercharge and supercharge generation by 27%. Reduce your supercharge ability cooldown by 22.5. That's why I love the Word of Power, because the Word of Power increases my critical. So I love it. I love it for that. And if you use, the Heart of Ices, then you will buff your team and yourself even more. But, that's if you want to. If you're not going to be using like a proc, and no stack, of course. But, yeah. So let's go ahead and switch this back real quick. So, remember, man, these guys are the ones that say, put Constantine on a DPS. It's OPS. It's just so meta. Oh, my God. Now see, now I didn't gain. It wasn't like the Flash gave me much more in comparison, because as you guys could just see how much supercharge it just generated. So to me, this is what's nuts about the meta players. I'm showing it on my screen. This is why meta players suck. And if you follow them, that's probably why I'm beating you in these pugs. Now, am I all that? I'm mainly a support player. I very rarely DPS. I have DPS tunes, but I mainly play support. But I stick to the numbers. I was an alpha tester for multiple companies. I have been a content creator. I was a huge content creator in Elder Scrolls Online. I wasn't just a content creator. I was one of the big content creators in ESO. And I don't like doing content creating because I have to put it out there to be the people the player that people hate for pointing out the obvious. It's like, oh my god, you guys suck. So yeah, I mean seriously, but maybe Black Adam's the new meta, right? Well, I mean it's contingent because here's the dilly. In an ideal situation, if you have a healer in a tank running the Eye of Gemini and they pop, you're going to get supercharge. You don't need Black Adam then. The Flash would be more productive. In that scenario, it's situational. But if you're running pugs, or if you're running, with a group you've never ran with before, you don't know how their layout is set up. Black Adam is way more productive with supercharge generating and keeping your uptime for your supercharge. So yes, it's situational. It really does depend on these variables. But hey, Mel, I'm so sure you just know everything, don't you? Because you're the meta. No thanks. I'm good. Have a nice day.